Hey everybody, welcome to the week 6 guided assignment. Again, we're in the sample company. I think you're getting used to how this is set up by now, so I'm just going to go ahead and work through the steps so that you can follow along with me and hopefully learn a few new things. So here we are in the sample company. So on to step 2, which is to open the expenses and pay bills area of QuickBooks. Um, we can do that right here in the top menu by clicking on expenses and pay bills. And then step 3 is to review our existing vendor list. Remember, vendors are people that we buy things from. So here under expenses and bills, you can see vendors. This is just a list of all the people that this sample company has in as vendors, people that they are businesses that they buy things from. So there's our existing vendor list. And now I'll show you step 4, how to create a new vendor. Pretty simple. You probably figured out the pattern by now. We click on new vendor, and then we enter the vendor's information. We're going to use Ricky's Rakes, their email address, rake, whoops, I'm typing weird, rake sales at rickies.com, phone number 928-322-7771. There's all this other information you can put in there when you're doing this, but we don't need any of that right now for this exercise. Their address, 2712 West Rake Boulevard, Pima, AZ 85543. And then we're going to record our payment terms. If you remember terms from our customers, which was how long they had to pay us, payment terms are how long our vendor gives us to pay them. So for Ricky's, it's net 15, meaning Ricky's expects us to pay within 15 days. We hit save. And now we've created a new vendor called Ricky's Rakes. All right, so on to number 6 or number 5, which is to use the create button to locate vendor transactions. So if we go over create, you can see under vendors, we have expenses or expense, check, bill, pay bills, and all of these other things. And so we're going to learn how to use a few of those right now. So that's where we find the sort of actions we can do with a vendor. So number 6, we're going to actually record an expense. So we're just going to click on expense. And we're going to pay a business called Mahoney Mugs. And you can scroll through or you can start to type it and it will bring up people. Our payment account is checking. So what we're saying is we're going to have the money come out of checking when we pay them. We'll leave the date as today's date. Our payment method is a check. And a reference number, which is usually where we put in our check number, 7145. And then we're paying Mahoney's Mugs for some advertising. Maybe we're getting some mugs with our business name put on them. We can put a description if we want to, but not required for this assignment. And the amount is $57.55. And that's it. So that's how we create an expense in QuickBooks. I'll hit save and close. You'll see that this still shows that we don't owe Mahoney Mugs any money because we went ahead and paid for it right there. So we recorded that as if we paid it, and it wasn't like us owing them. And that's a little different. Well, I'll show you. So if we go to Mahoney Mugs and click on them, we'll see that we did indeed have this transaction, 57.55, but because we paid them for it, we don't owe them anything. So that's a little different from when we create a bill. If we go up to create and go to bill, which is our step 8, we're going to record a bill. Um, and our vendor on this one is going to be Computers by Jenny. Let's see. The terms for Computers by Jenny is net 30, meaning we have 30 days to pay Jenny. We'll leave the date today, so we'll automatically figure out our due date based on those terms of 30 days. And our category is going to be under maintenance. Let's see. Maintenance and repair. And then we're going to do the subcategory of computer repairs. And the amount is 225. And then we're going to add a memo on this one just to show you that we can add memos if we want on our bills. And my memo is going to say, it's going to say week 6, guided assignment. And then Mike, that's my first name. And that's it. That's how we create a bill. So I can save and schedule payment, or I can just save and close, which is what I'm going to do right now. And now if I go to my vendor record for Computers by Jenny, you'll see that I actually owe her money because a bill doesn't record that I paid her, or I say her, maybe Jenny's a guy, I don't know. Anyway, but it doesn't record that I paid Jenny. It just records that I owe Jenny for services Jenny has rendered to me. So that's the difference. When we do an expense, that's recording something we're paying for right then and there, or as opposed to a bill where we're recording that we owe money for something that is an expense or a product that we purchased from a vendor. So if I were to go, just to show you, to my chart of accounts, I could look at my accounts payable, which is a liability, meaning money I owe to others. When I click on view register, you'll see right there that I have added to my accounts payable that $225. So just the act of creating a bill automatically adds it to our account payable. All right, so now we're going to record paying that bill. So I'm going to go to create, and for vendors, I'm going to go to pay bills. You can see down here is my Computers by Jenny bill. So I am just going to first select the account I'm going to pay from, just checking. I'm going to click on the bill I'm paying, which is this $225 Computers by Jenny bill. And then I can either schedule the payment or save and close. Schedule the payment means I'm going to record it at some future date, but I just hit schedule payment, and that's now recorded. Then QuickBooks will try to sell me some of their bill payment systems, but we won't do that for now. Maybe. Let's see if it's being weird here. Interesting. So this has given me a little bit of trouble. You can see how when I try to schedule the payment, it's wanting me to do something else. So I'm going to hit save and close. There we go. And so I think my initial impulse that it was going to try to push that into the future and use a scheduling system was correct. So by hitting save and close, it went ahead and saved that bill payment. If I go back now to my vendor and I go to Computers by Jenny, you'll see that I don't owe her anything anymore, right? Because I paid the bill. All right. So now we're just going to run a few reports. ones that are related to this type of work. So I'm going to go, whoops, I clicked on accounting. I meant to click on reports. So I'm on step 12 and I'm doing the reports. So we have an accounts payable aging report, or sorry, an accounts payable aging summary. And this will show all the money I owe to people broken down by how many days either past due it is or if it's current. There you can see the money you owe people. That's an accounts payable aging summary. We're going to do a vendor balance detail report. So show how much I owe each vendor, the date, the due date. So that's what the detail is. Step 13, nope, step 14, I'm going to do a profit and loss report. So a profit and loss, sometimes called an income statement, is probably the most common report you'll see in financial things. And this just puts our income. That means the revenue, the money we make by selling stuff, minus all of our expenses. So we can see how much money we made or our net income for a given period. For this assignment, I'm just going to have you um, submit just the profit and loss statement. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print, click save as PDF. I can save that, and then I'll be able to turn that in when I submit the assignment. And that's really it. Then there's the additional questions. And I kind of explained how each of these works along the way. So hopefully that helped. As always, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out. And I hope that was helpful to you.